When the adoptive parents retrieved biological daughter, I had the good sense to want to move out. But when biological daughter learned that I was just moving to another cottage, she got teary-eyed and said, "I came to join this family, not to break it up." I was deeply moved and chose to stay. But soon the biological daughter began to use shitty tactics to wrong me. And the adoptive parents, unwilling to believe me as the adopted daughter, began to pull the wool over their eyes. I finally realized that the adopted daughter didn't want me to leave. She wanted me to leave with nothing. With this realization, I packed my bags. Only it was not my luggage, but the adopted daughters and the adoptive parents. After all, I was the one who owned the estate. 1. I was awakened from my sleep by a short scream and casually threw on a jacket and walked out of the bedroom. Just as I exited the bedroom, my adoptive mother, Mary Johnson, walked up to me quickly with an angry look on her face, something that had never happened before. Mary Johnson had always been gentle and soft with me, not even speaking out loud. However, at this moment, she rebuked me harshly. "Luna Smith, why are you doing this to Fong Dian? Fong Fan has been suffering outside for more than 10 years. It's not easy to find her home, and you're just going to mistreat her like this." I looked blankly at the situation in front of me. How did I mistreat her? Seeing my unrepentant, Mary Johnson was furious. My foster father Benjamin Johnson looked disappointed, and my nanny Mrs. Wilson was about to say something. But she didn't say anything due to her status. And last week just recognized the success of the Lin family. Biological daughter Emily Johnson is crying with a face of aggrieved hiding behind Mary Johnson, sobbing, "Mom, you do not blame sister. It is me. It's me." This set out as if adding oil to the fire. Mary Johnson viciously glared at me. "Look at your sister. Up to now is still helping you to speak. I raised you for more than 10 years. Just raise you into ill-treat sister's appearance, not waiting for me to open my mouth." She gently turned back and patted Emily Johnson's back. "Fong Jean. Mom knows that you are a good child. You say so because you don't want to quarrel in the family. But this is your own home. The last thing you need is for you to complete. So don't be afraid. I'm sure to give you justice today," said Mary Johnson. Glanced at Benjamin Johnson. "Are you dumb? Your own daughter suffered so much aggression. You do not care." "I have been a little angry. Early in the morning is only more than 5 o'clock. Do not let me sleep here with me to play you compare me to guess." So my tone is also impatient. In the end, what happened? Cannot directly say clearly. Do not play riddles with me, Mrs. Wilson couldn't hold it in any longer and spoke super fast. Missy said that you forced her to live in the utility room. This morning Mrs. woke up for her morning walk and heard the commotion in the utility room to go and see before she found out about this. 2. I rolled my eyes in my heart. I didn't think that a story I read inside a novel would actually happen to me. But I know that I can't get angry at this moment. The more I get angry, the more I appear to be weak-minded. So I still softly explained, "I've obviously packed you a sunrise second bedroom. The size and layout is the same as the master bedroom where Mom and Dad live. When did I let you sleep in the utility room?" Emily Johnson looked at me like a rabbit, teary-eyed, and said quickly, "Yes. It's all my fault. It's me who had to live in the utility room. I don't blame my sister. Mom and Dad, you mustn't scold my sister. Or else." This half saying and half remaining looks like I'm bullying her. I hold back my anger. "Or else what?" Emily Johnson lowered her head. "Or else. Or I'll feel guilty." I couldn't help but sneer out. "Guilt? Then you don't feel guilty when you turn black and white like this. Slandering and forcing you to sleep in the utility room." Emily Johnson just lowered her head and cried. No longer speaking, but Mary Johnson snorted coldly. "How dare you threaten your sister like that in front of your father and I? If we weren't at home, maybe you would have bullied her." Benjamin Johnson was also angry. "If she's so well behaved, could it be that she wants to live in the utility room? I just don't believe it. Who would let go of the luxurious bedroom and live in this dirty utility room? Today you must give me an explanation. Otherwise. I was too lazy to explain. Pointing to the surveillance not far away. My sister came to the house for a short time. She should not know that there is surveillance everywhere in the house. Right. Anyway, you've only been here for a week. Let's watch it frame by frame and see if I've forced you. Mary Johnson and Benjamin Johnson looked at each other. I'm so angry and confused. Yes. Let's go watch the surveillance. When the evidence is clear, they'll see how you can still argue. Third. Emily Johnson heard the monitoring. Face white, frightening. The whole person as if struck by lightning. Unable to shake. But unfortunately, Mary Johnson and Benjamin Johnson did not even notice. Straight to pull me and Emily Johnson to go downstairs to the monitoring room. But not yet downstairs. Emily Johnson kneeled down. Mom and Dad. This thing sister really do not know. Sister arranged a good room for me. Is that I grew up suffering used to? Always feel that I do not deserve. So only while everyone is asleep secretly ran to the utility room to sleep. Mary Johnson and Benjamin Johnson froze on the spot. And it took Benjamin Johnson a long time to speak. Then why did you just say that it was your sister who made you live in the utility room? Emily Johnson shook her head. I didn't. I was too scared to speak when I saw Mom and Dad angry. It's Mom and Dad you guys misunderstood. I suffered a lot outside since I was a kid, so I'm too timid. Everything is my fault. I stood still with a cold face, waiting for Mary Johnson and Benjamin Johnson to apologize to me. But the two of them just picked up Emily Johnson on the ground with a look of pity. My baby suffered outside. There's no way to change the past. We will make it up to you in the future. In this way, the family of three embraced each other and left, leaving me and Mrs. Wilson in place face to face. Actually some confusion. Is it before more than 10 years? To my good. Are all false. Mrs. Wilson did not have a good mood to say. This second miss is really strange. Last week she just arrived at the home. Miss Yu said to move out to live in another villa. It is her own cry. Saying something like, I came to join this family. Not to break it up, you stayed. And now here we are with all this. Mr. and Mrs. Wilson too. Why are they so biased towards second miss? This matter is obvious to all eyes that it is second miss who is talking nonsense. Mrs. Wilson paused. Miss, what are you going to do now? I pulled out a smile. Now Emily Johnson just came home. Mom and Dad are feeling guilty. I won't be angry. After all, Mom and Dad were also very good to me before. Let's just see what happens later. Mrs. Wilson sighed. Yes, Mr. and Mrs. have been very good to you before. Very good indeed. Fourth, after the last time, Emily Johnson looked at me with fear in her eyes. Probably because she thought that I wasn't easy to mess with, so she didn't cause any trouble, but only occasionally sarcastic remarks to say something out of place. And Mom and Dad also afterward feel wronged me, bought me a lot of gifts to apologize. It wasn't until a month later that Emily Johnson's birthday party was coming up. Only then did she carefully walk to my room. Sister, what happened last time? I'm really sorry, but it really wasn't my fault. It's Mom and Dad who misunderstood you. I've always explained with Mom and Dad, not waiting for me to say anything. Emily Johnson took out a bag from behind her. This is the dress I bought for my sister, as a gift for my company. I hope that my sister can wear it. As long as my sister wears this dress to appear at my birthday banquet, Mom and Dad will definitely be very happy. I took a look at the dress. Emily Johnson was quite willing to put down some money. This was the dress I wore most often. Looking at the size and style, it was all mine. But I understood that she definitely wouldn't be so kind. I received the dress with an expressionless face, and gave it a tug, and sure enough, the threads at the seams all came apart. And a good piece of dress became a puddle of rags. I don't need to think about it. If I wear this dress to the banquet tomorrow, how embarrassing it will be. Emily Johnson's face changed. Hurriedly explain. This is not what I did. It must be the clerk at the counter. I sneered and threw the dress back. Is it funny? Always acting like this. You've forgotten so quickly about the last room. Is it that your face doesn't hurt anymore from being punched in the face? Emily Johnson glanced at my bedroom and suddenly laughed coldly. You're just a replacement that Mom and Dad adopted from the orphanage. Who are you to talk to me like that? Since I'm back, there's no way the entire Lin family can accommodate you. I felt a bit ridiculous when Emily Johnson suddenly rushed to me and whispered in my ear. It's true that I was the one who got the short end of the stick last time, but through what happened last time, I can also see clearly that Mom and Dad are still more biased and love me more. Last time there was surveillance and you escaped. This time there is no surveillance. They'll see what you do. I think she seems to be holding something bad, not waiting for me to react. She viciously slapped herself and continued. Do you think I'm really a soft touch? Think I'm really afraid of you? Think I really want you to wear this dress? I just decided to let you completely get out of the Lin family before I announce my identity. What I want is not for you to move out of this estate. What I want is for you to leave the Lin family forever. To come naked. To leave naked. To be pampered by Mom and Dad. Your money. Your clothes. Your jewelry. Including that fiancé who pampers you and loves you. All of it. Back to me. Emily Johnson's hands kept beating herself. But she was too thick-skinned for her own good. And the beating, though painful, didn't look serious half the time. I thought it was funny and pointed to the scissors on the side and said, You have to see blood. How can it be serious if you don't see blood? Emily Johnson held the scissors and took several deep breaths, and finally stabbed directly into her palm. She only shivered in pain, but she was afraid that it was still not enough, so she rushed to the side of the floor-to-ceiling mirror. This was really serious now. She had lenses sticking out all over her body. Her face was red and swollen, and even her hair had been ripped out quite a bit by herself, and it wasn't until then that she was satisfied, and ran over to me and wrapped me up in a hug, rubbing all the blood all over my body, before she started screaming, Mom and Dad, help, help. 6. Mary Johnson and Benjamin Johnson quickly kicked open the door and rushed in. They had fallen out of love with me during this time, and the reason I hadn't stopped Emily Johnson just now was because I wanted to see if they would choose to believe me. And this was the last, and more importantly, the only chance I would give them. Mary Johnson rushed over to the bloodied Emily Johnson and hugged her, her eyes sobbing. Luna Smith, what the hell did you do? I shrugged. Mom and Dad, it's not what you see. Emily Johnson did all these injuries herself. It's the same as the last incident in the utility room. Emily Johnson weakly spoke up when she saw me being beaten. Mom and Dad, no. I came to apologize for delivering my sister's clothes. But she didn't listen to my apology and tore up the clothes I delivered. Benjamin Johnson called for Mrs. Wilson to call an ambulance while shielding Emily Johnson. See you. I'm really disappointed in you. Your mom and I have treated you well over the years. How could you be so vicious? Emily Johnson was a bit pleased to hear this, but still spoke pitifully. Mom and Dad, don't blame your sister. It's all my fault. It's me who made my sister angry last time. It's only right for my sister to beat me up, even though I'm the Lin family's biological daughter. In the final analysis, I'm the one who's an outsider. After I recover from my injuries, I'll move out on my own. I nodded. Stir up trouble. It's time to get out. Benjamin Johnson backhanded me after hearing that. When the hell did you become like this? Your sister is so nice to you. Why don't you know better? I covered my face and a cold smile spread inside. It looks like the mom and dad in front of me are no longer my mom and dad after having Emily Johnson. While talking, the ambulance had already arrived at the door. Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson ignored my explanation, picked up Emily Johnson and were about to leave. Before leaving, Benjamin Johnson sighed. I hope that by the time I come back, you've already moved out. Mrs. Wilson was in a hurry at the door and she didn't dare enter the house until the ambulance left. Miss, I'm sure you're not like that. I nodded and didn't say much. Well, why don't you help me pack? 7. Mrs. Wilson didn't say much. She just sighed and left. Because Emily Johnson was seriously injured. The banquet the next day was cancelled. It was not until a week later that Emily Johnson went home with the help of Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson. Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson were a little upset when they saw me. It's been a week. Why are you still packing? Didn't I tell you to move out as soon as possible? Emily Johnson looked at a large pile of luggage in front of me and frowned. Sister, Mom and Dad were just kidding. I have recovered well now. You don't have to pack so much luggage to leave home. Worthless life. Sister beat on. Just hope that sister won't be so angry in the future. After all, a lot of anger hurts the liver. You recognize a mistake with Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad, after all, love you so many years. As long as you recognize the mistake, Mom and Dad is going to forgive you. I smiled. Who said I was leaving? Emily Johnson's prepared speech was disliked by me. She said dryly, if sister isn't leaving, what's the point of packing all these bags? It can't be a backhanded attempt to kick me and Mom and Dad out, can it? I nodded. After all this time in the house, you're finally smart for once. These are your bags. I've packed them for you. You can leave now. Emily Johnson froze for a moment, then said viciously, by what right? This is the Lin family. It's fine if you want to kick me out. Why should you kick out Mom and Dad? Mrs. Wilson rolled her eyes at the side. Second Miss. This is the Lin family, yes. But this Lin is Miss Luna Smith's Lin, not Mr. Benjamin Johnson, Miss Emily Johnson's Lin. Mrs. Wilson is right. Not only this set of estates, but even the biggest shareholder of Lin's Group is also me. After this sentence, the 3 members of the Lin family at the door changed their faces in unison. Emily Johnson was incredulous. This is impossible. 8. I took the real estate certificate in Mrs. Wilson's hand and looked at Benjamin Johnson with a smile. Mr. Lin, you wouldn't have lived here for a few years and forgotten who the landlord is, would you? Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson glanced at each other. Their faces turned blue but they couldn't say anything. Emily Johnson, however, didn't know that, but instead sneered and said, oh, even if the estate is in your name. So what? That's what Mom and Dad actually financed. As long as Mom and Dad are willing to, they can get the house back anytime they want. Mom and Dad are so good to you. Raised you for more than 10 years. You are so is this way to repay Mom and Dad. Did you calculate this matter long ago and deliberately force Mom and Dad to write your name? I know. After I came home, you were unhappy. First threatened to leave home, and then hinted at forcing me to live in the utility room. But you did not expect. Blood is thicker than water. Mom and Dad simply do not eat you that way. You want to beat me to death. But just like that, Mom and Dad did not do anything to you. Just let you move out only. Not even with you to dissolve the adoption. They didn't even terminate the adoption. What more do you want from Mom and Dad? What more do you want from me? Do I have to die? Emily Johnson's ability to turn black and white upside down is quite good. But she said so half a day. No one paid any attention to her. She also felt embarrassed, turned back to look at Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson behind her and said, Mom and Dad, I know you guys love your sister, but your sister has done this. Aren't you still angry? Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson tugged at Emily Johnson's sleeve and gently shook their heads, signaling Emily Johnson to shut up. Emily Johnson couldn't see the embarrassment of the 2 men, but instead asked strangely, Mom and Dad, what's wrong with you guys? Mary Johnson sighed. This estate is not what we bought for CU. It is an engagement gift from CES fiancé Kevin Grant. 9. In fact, this estate was originally bought by me to honor them and let them live comfortably. But at that time, in order to be able to let them live in peace of mind and not suspect my identity, I made a big detour and intentionally said that this estate was an engagement gift from my fiancé, Kevin Grant. Emily Johnson was almost unsteady on her feet, and I estimated that she must have been very regretful. Regretting that she didn't understand I guess she must have been very regretful. Regretting that she had not understood the situation clearly before doing so. And now she was hurt. And even if she was hurt, the birthday party and the estates that belonged to her were all gone. However, she quickly recovered and gritted her teeth. The fiancé is also the fiancé of the Lin family. Not your fiancé. Leaving mom and dad, you're nothing at all. Now I'll give you a chance. You leave obediently on your own. In the future I'll give you a few $1,000s every month for you to live on. If you refuse to leave, I don't mind telling your fiancé what you've done, and directly dissolve the adoption relationship with you. At that time, do you think he'll still want you? I didn't bother to pay attention to her. Instead I looked directly at Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson. Mom and Dad, I remember all the good things you've done for me, but you're the ones who don't want to live with me. And there's nothing I can do about it. Mary Johnson couldn't help but feel a little embarrassed, but she still kept her mouth shut. You have to know that if your father and I really move out now, we won't have any relationship in the future, and you will never be my daughter again. I had already guessed this, so I directly took out an agreement to dissolve the adoption relationship. You're wrong. It's you guys who don't want me as your daughter. I'm forced to do this. The two men looked at the agreement with exasperation, and without any hesitation directly signed and left. But Emily Johnson can't let go. She pulled Mary Johnson and Benjamin Johnson's hands, crying, Mom and Dad, this is not right. Should go is her, not us. But her crying didn't help, and with the help of the bodyguards, she was practically carried out of the estate. 10. Since the dissolution of the adoption relationship with Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson, they have been on fire to clear the air with me, stopping all of the cards they had previously given me. It seems to think that by doing so, I will regret. Mary Johnson also condescending to call me. You now keep a set of estate. What is the use? Even the management fee, the staff's salary you cannot afford to pay. Right. I wasn't angry. Instead I smiled and said, Mom, I said, even if we dissolve our relationship, I'll still remember the good you've done for me all these years just the same. And if I need my help in the future, I'm going to step in. Seeing that I still had the stiff upper lip touch, the Lin family never called me again. Until a few months later, Kevin Grant's birthday party, Emily Johnson came uninvited, wearing a white dress. That dress looks like the second me. Emily Johnson jogged 2 steps to my side. Sister, these few months you have been well. My parents and I are very worried about you, afraid that you do not have enough to eat and wear warm. You don't have enough to eat or wear. Now that I see you are still the same as before, I am relieved. When these words came out, the originally noisy scene instantly quieted down. One looked at me. What's wrong, Siyu? Emily Johnson sighed, but her eyes kept drifting towards Kevin Grant's. She said with a meaningful meaning, Didn't my sister tell you guys? My sister has been kicked out of the Lin family and is no longer the Miss Lin family. The only Miss Lin family now is me. Think about it. Sister should not dare to say it. If you say it, everyone will definitely dislike you as orphanage out of the orphanage. Sister is so fond of people's pursuit. Of course, she is not willing to tell the truth. But I'm very strange. Sister, where did you get the money from? It can't be soliciting and cheating with the name of the Lin family, right? Or, sister earned it with her flesh. 11. Kevin Grant. Because he was abroad for business for the last few months, he didn't know about my dissolution of the adoption relationship with the Lin family for the time being. He looked at me with a worried face. See you. What's going on? Why didn't you say anything to me? I snorted and laughed out loud. Why make such a fuss? A Lin family is just a Lin family. They don't want to have me. Then I'll forget about it. I'm better off without them. The discerning can see that Kevin Grant is concerned about me. But Emily Johnson does not think so. She showed a winning smile and continued to say petulantly, Brother Yuankai, I know you are my sister's fiancé. But my sister, she is riding on someone's coattails. And you gave it to mom and dad as your estate. As estate was taken away by her with a trick. She didn't dare to tell you the truth at all. But I had to tell you. My sister's character is violent. Beat me up. Dad was so angry that he couldn't stand it. He even slapped my sister. Kevin Grant didn't say anything, but still wasn't very happy, especially when he heard Emily Johnson say that I was slapped by Benjamin Johnson. He almost broke the cup in his hand. Emily Johnson was even more pleased. And continued, although I've been living outside, I am, after all, a member of the Lin family bloodline. Am the bloodline of the Lin family. So I understand very well that a family union like ours is a very important thing. And mom and dad want to continue the union between our two families. But definitely not with my sister. I'm willing to continue the marriage contract. Not only for the sake of our two families' business, but also because I'm not willing for you, Brother Yuankai, to be hoodwinked by this woman. Saying this, she stops talking and stares straight at Kevin Grant, unfortunately. Kevin Grant's eyes are still dead set on my face, caring only about whether or not I recovered well from my injuries. 12. I was a little embarrassed by Kevin Grant's stare, reached out and gently patted Kevin Grant's face. At that time, it was almost this force. I would have been fine. Don't worry. Seeing that no one took care of herself, Emily Johnson was a bit embarrassed and spoke with a sneer. Sister really knows how to joke. Brother Yuankai obviously isn't caring about you. It's just disgusting for an adopted daughter like you. When these words came out, a burst of laughter erupted from the quiet Hillcrest Manor. Kevin Grant wrapped his arm around my shoulders and gave Emily Johnson a disdainful look. Have you read too many novels? Marriage. My Gu family still needs a marriage. If I want a marriage, it's still your Lin family's turn. Let me tell you, Luna Smith is my sweetheart that I fell in love with at first sight since I was 10 years old. My fiancé that I've been chasing for more than 10 years. My wife that I'm going to get a license for next year. What kind of green onion do you think you are, rushing to talk to me about this? Emily Johnson was a little confused. More than that, she was unbelievable. She shook her head and mumbled, How can it be? You like her but because she is the Lin family's daughter. But she is a fake. She is now penniless. Aren't you afraid that people will laugh at you and say that you found a piece of garbage as your wife? Kevin Grant has been very angry. The housekeeper immediately called the bodyguard. Directly Emily Johnson framed to walk out. Emily Johnson feet do not touch the ground. Only feel the face are lost. But still cannot help but speak. Luna Smith. You are just a man, rely on the body of the woman on the throne. I already have a father and a mother. I already have a father and a mother. And soon the Lin's Group will be mine. So I don't believe that Brother Yuankai will still like you by then. They'll wait to see the day you're kicked out of your house and have nothing. They'll be standing in the Lin's Group chairman's office drinking coffee and watching you. 13. Emily Johnson was kicked out. And everyone played as usual. Kevin Grant and I nestled in the sofa, quietly looking at the night view of the foothills. It took a long time for Kevin Grant to open his mouth. What are you going to do? Are you going to take back Lin's Group? I was actually thinking about it. I started investing long before I reached adulthood. Maybe I was talented or lucky. I made a lot of money very quickly, although it was nothing compared to the Gu family. But compared to Lin's Group it was a lot better. Lin's Group in the early years is just a small business. Especially Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson is not what business wizards. A business is basically left an empty shell, on the verge of bankruptcy. During that time, Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson daily sigh. Sad face. Even so, They did not forget to pave the way for my future life, using all their ability to transfer the little money they had left to me, and even thought of dissolving the adoption relationship with me so that their debts would not affect me. It was hard for me to watch, so I gave up my plan to open my own company and invested my funds in Lin's Group. These years, if not I operate behind the scenes, coupled with the help of the Gu family. Lin's Group is impossible to become the industry leader in such a short period of time. I thought I could always go on like this. Wait until Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson retired, and then take it out as a joke to say listen to. But I did not expect an Emily Johnson stirred up the family like this. I sighed. Public is public. Private is private. My parents are good to me. I won't forget. But there's no way I'm going to accept my company, my heart and soul to be lost by Emily Johnson. This brainwashed person. Kevin Grant dropped a kiss on my forehead. They'll always be on your side. I hummed. It's almost the end of the year. They'll go to the AGM when it's over. And if it doesn't work, they'll take back the group. 14. Soon it was the day of the shareholders' meeting. It was the first time I had come to the company as a shareholder. Previously I had had my proxy or assistant attend to convey my ideas. Just as I got to the meeting floor, Emily Johnson appeared out of nowhere. She gave me a blank look. What are you doing here? Don't you forget. You've dissolved the adoption with Mom and Dad. This doesn't belong to you anymore. Get the hell out of here or I'll call security. Unmoved with a calm face, I explained. I'm here for the shareholders' meeting, not to argue with you. You and I have nothing to do with each other. Hearing this, Emily Johnson was not in a hurry, but pointed at the assistant and agent behind me and laughed. A meeting? Are you going to laugh me to death? What do you mean by bringing these two with you, wanting to come and split the family fortune? Is it because you don't have any money during this period of time? And you can't get out of the big estate you're guarding, so you've come up with this plan. If you're willing to kneel down and kowtow a few apologies to me right now, and take the initiative to return Brother Yuankai to me, I can consider giving you $5,000 a month so that you can at least afford to eat. As we were talking, Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson came over from the side, and when he saw me, he seemed a bit surprised. What are you doing here? The last time I was hospitalized, I just wanted you to come and see me for a while, but you threw Fong difference out of the house. What do you want to do now that you're back? Sick. My heart thumped, but when I saw that Benjamin Johnson was in good condition, I slowly let go of my heart. Mary Johnson's expression was not good either. We'll talk about it in a few days. We don't have time to care about you because of the shareholders' meeting in the next few days. And don't forget that it was you who took the initiative to terminate the adoption relationship. And we haven't forgiven you. Forgiven you yet. The words landed and the manager behind me cleared his throat and walked out. 15. Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson's expression changed. Hurriedly came over to shake hands with him, and said with embarrassment, Mr. Liu, sorry to make you look at the joke. This is my adopted daughter. Because of some money matters to make trouble, the conference room has been prepared. Fong difference. You hurry to take Mr. Liu to the conference room. Emily Johnson's feet seemed to be fixed, not moving at all, until my manager spoke. Lin Dong. You can just call me Xiao Liu. This is the major shareholder of our company. I'm just running errands for her. This sentence was simply a thunderbolt within the spring. Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson's faces were blackened. But Emily Johnson suddenly started to go crazy. Mom and Dad, don't listen to her. How could she have this achievement as an orphan? She must be relying on Kevin Grant. But Kevin Grant was supposed to be my fiancé. I sighed. I've let you down. This matter has nothing to do with Yuankai. Back then when Mom and Dad's company was in trouble, I hadn't agreed to be with Yuankai. Because of the big commotion over here. Quite a few shareholders rushed over at the sound of the noise. Benjamin Johnson's expression could be described as very wonderful. Of course he knew clearly that it couldn't be because of Kevin Grant. After all, After all these years of crawling in society, it was impossible that he couldn't even think of such a little thing. Mary Johnson is also the same. She made a wink to her assistant. The assistant immediately pulled Emily Johnson to leave. But Emily Johnson how can easily leave? She just feel the sky has collapsed. Until the floor security rushed over. Several people combined their efforts to carry Emily Johnson away. This situation seems very familiar. This is the third time Emily Johnson was carried away from my eyes. Also, quite interesting. 16. I did not pay attention to Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson's face. Just picked up the account book and carefully looked at it. And as I expected is almost the same. This year is another year of loss. I did not hesitate. Threw down the ledger and said, the company's deficit is too big. I advocate replacing the chairman. Benjamin Johnson lowered his head and whispered, "See you. I know that you have conflicts with us because of the matter of Fangyun, but you beat Fangyun like that. We can't help it. Both are important to us. We've spoiled you for more than 10 years. And every time I see you, I feel ashamed of Fangyun. So after you beat up Fangyun after that, we just..." Mary Johnson also teary-eyed. "Yes. See you. Mom and Dad did think wrong. But the company is after all me and your dad's heart and soul. Do you really want the company to close down?" I shook my head. Mom and Dad. I have always made a clear distinction between public and private matters. In fact, as early as last year I had the idea of wanting to replace the chairman of the board of directors. I was just swayed by my family's feelings. But you yourselves know very well that you simply don't have the ability to be in charge of such a large company. And letting you step back now would be the best way to protect Lin's group. Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson lowered their heads and sighed uncontrollably for a long time before nodding. "Okay. Then I'll listen to you. But there's no use if I don't. In the end, you're the largest shareholder with a veto." But Emily Johnson had no way of accepting this. She thought she could get estate by making a scene and kicking me out. But with estate gone, she thought having company estate was nothing more than a small thing. But she didn't realize that the company was gone too. So in her sure Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson to leave the company, she is going to become nothing again. White eyes. Directly fainted. 17. See, Emily Johnson fainted. Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson naturally another burst of soldiers. I didn't say anything. Just gently shook my head. I know you guys are currently in a pretty good financial situation. And as your daughters, you've spoiled me for over a decade before. So I'm kindly reminding you to be careful of Emily Johnson. Seeing that the two of them didn't understand, I sighed and picked up my cell phone to put the last time Emily Johnson's clip of acting in my bedroom was sent over. The two people's face blackened. "Why don't you take this out if you have it? Causing us to misunderstand you." I looked at the two with a calm face. That day when she came knocking on the door, I thought it was strange, so I left a heartbeat and filmed it. I thought about showing it to you guys, but what's the point of seeing it? The first time there was surveillance. You guys didn't believe me. What's the point of having a video the second time? I have to know if you guys believe me or her. I let out a bitter laugh. But it turns out you guys trust her more. Benjamin Johnson's mouth moved. But no words came out. Only his eyes reddened. I knew he must have regretted it. Mary Johnson's expression was not good either. But she still kept her mouth shut. Fangyun just wants a little bit more pampering. She suffered from her childhood. It's not strange for her to have this kind of idea. She just used the wrong method. As long as your father and I teach her properly, I believe she will behave well. As long as your father and I teach her well, I believe she will behave. I shook my head. That's not true. Emily Johnson's adoptive parents are actually very good to her. Although the family's condition is not considered rich, but it is also considered a well-off family. It's not as bitter as you think. See, two people still hesitant demeanor. I also do not want to say more. Anyway, no matter what, in the future if there is a problem, can come to me, even if legally we do not have a relationship. but in my heart, I am still grateful to you. 18. It was 3 years later when Benjamin Johnson contacted me again. He choked on the phone and explained to me, "She stole your mom's and my money and ran away with a man. Your aunt and I are now penniless and living on the streets. I don't want to trouble you, but your aunt is sick and needs urgent treatment. I can only beg you to help us." I HMMD to indicate that I knew. However, I didn't go to meet them in person. Instead, I asked my assistant to arrange for the best hospital and the best team of specialists, and bought them a large flat near the hospital, giving them $20,000 of alimony every month. After high-end medical treatment, Mary Johnson quickly recovered her health, but she was very guilty and even more regretful. "Siyu, you're right. There are some people that can't be raised. And we will find a way to return this money to you," I just said gently. "No need. You recuperate well. You guys raised me young. I will naturally return you old, although we are not relatives anymore. But there is no need to be so outgoing." However, after hearing the assistant describe the miserable appearance of Benjamin Johnson and Mary Johnson, I was still a little angry, and with the help of my husband Kevin Grant, I soon found Emily Johnson. Emily Johnson was tortured beyond recognition, and had a broken hand. I was shocked. "Yuankai, are you crazy? How can you torture her like this? She has faults and laws." Kevin Grant said a wrongful accusation. "It was when I found her that she was already like this. It should have been cheated by a man and sold to that kind of place." Kevin Grant did not continue to say, probably because he felt that it was inappropriate to continue to say in the fetus. But I also brainstormed some. However, at this moment, the crazy Emily Johnson, there is no way to accept the sanctions of the law. I can only wave my hand. Send her to the mental hospital. When she is a little better, let the Lin family couple to see it. After all, it is their daughter. I don't know how the Lin family couple will be when they see Emily Johnson at this moment. I'm still a little saddened. If Emily Johnson had really joined our family as she said, she would have lived a very happy life. End.